And I feel like it's easy for me to talk about it here, but I've been there. I've cried in the bathroom. I've been frustrated. I felt like I've been treated unfairly. Get to work. It's not like, oh my gosh, welcome. We love you so much here, and it's going to be great. We're going to give you all the guidance. You're mad about sand? You're mad about bricks? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nothando and I make videos on construction, lifestyle and travel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. Please do not forget to like the video. So this video is very random. It's one of those random videos, but I've been getting a lot of DMs about people who are not happy in their work situation, and sometimes that happens and your go-to is not always quitting. This usually happens when you start off working. So I'm going to share my story, and I hope that this kind of like helps you decipher whether or not you're just going through the motions of growing pains and like changing scenarios, or whether or not it's really you need to quit, or you need to like make a change or take a break or whatever. So when I started working, right, or when anybody starts working, you're from like a school environment, so you're like used to skipping classes if you don't feel like going to a class. You don't really have to, but you do it because you want to, and you do it because you're paying for it. You're the one paying for it, and you kind of have like a flexibility / choice thing. The effort you put in is the effort the results are going to show, so you're doing it literally for yourself. There's still an element of choice when it comes to school, and it's not the whole year. You get like your holidays in between the years, so you can like take a break here and there. And when you start working, you realize, oh my gosh, I only have like 12 days. And when you start working, you actually don't even have those days, because you start off from zero and you're now being paid to be there, so you don't have the flexibility to be like no. And if you don't feel like going to work, or if you don't want to go to work, you need to have a valid reason. It's got like a shock factor. Your time does not belong to you anymore, because somebody else is paying you to be in their space and produce a certain level of work. That can be a shock to your system. Kind of feels like a trap. I think the first maybe month or two you're like really excited, and then the responsibility starts piling up, and then you're learning all these new things. Also, you come from varsity, so you have that thing you would see, oh my gosh, I got a degree, so I can do this, like I'm built for this. My eyes are dry, I don't know why. I come from varsity, so I should understand this. I'm going to be treated with so much respect. I've got an honors degree, and you get there and like nobody really cares, because you know nothing. You are literally starting. I mean, yeah, your education is like a good foundation, but there's systems in which companies works, there's software in which company works, and you might have been exposed to it, but not really. Like there's a way in which they want things done, and you don't know anything, and you treat it like you know nothing. Secondly, I don't have time to do my own things. Like I need to be here, and construction hours are ridiculously long, so you are like, what is this? And then thirdly, you now have to interact with people who are going through their own stuff in their own lives, but they are like the authority over you. So like the emotional intelligence might not be very good. They might not speak to you professionally or even well because of the industry that we're in. They might be dealing with like their own complexes, so they want to enforce their power over you. So there's a lot that you're going to be dealing with when you start off, and it's part of the process. It's part of the process. Some people are luckier than others, but sometimes when you get to work, it's not like, oh my gosh, welcome. We love you so much here, and it's going to be great. We're going to give you all the guidance. The industry that we're in is sometimes so unstructured that even like moving up the hierarchy can be so not clear. There's so much happening around that you might be doing the same thing for like so long that you feel like you're stagnant and you're not growing, because of the way the industry is. Like unlike other industries where it's clear cut, like we're working on this, we're working on that, and these are the KPIs that you need to meet, and if you're meeting them, then surely by March the 38th of July you are going to get like a promotion, and you're going to move to level 2, and then you're going to move to level 3. Like sometimes it gets to a point where it's so blurry that some of those things are like taken out. It can feel like, what am I doing with my life? And especially like in the beginning, you can feel like there's no purpose. Like what you're doing is not meaningful because of the industry you're in. It's not like you're helping people heal. You're just pushing the hours. You're just a laborer, usually, especially if you're site-based. You're just counting bricks if you're site-based. Like, what am I doing? Really? I'm counting sand. Literally, that's what I'm doing. That's my life. It can be like a frustrating feeling. Like, you can get like to a point where you're just like, oh my gosh, like it feels so pointless. But that's where you start, and that's where the experience is built up. And while you're at it, you don't feel like you're making any difference or you're even growing. But that stage is so important. And I do understand that people are like really frustrated in my DMs. Like, I've been there. I hate not knowing things. Like, it bothers me. I'm so impatient. I'm just like, I want to know. I want to understand. I get so impatient. I get so mad at myself. I'm like, why don't you just get it? And like, I want to move to the next thing. I want to move to the next thing. And sometimes you need to do that one thing over and over and over and over again. That when you move to the next thing, you can easily spot mistakes from that one thing that you were doing over and over and over again. Construction is a very slow process, but every single day there's progress. You might not be seeing this. You might not feel like this is what's happening. You might not feel like you're growing, but trust me, you are. And it's sometimes like up and down. Like, some days you'll grow, some days you won't grow. Some days you feel like you're like 10 steps ahead, like, oh, I'm doing, and you're like, oh, I'm doing great, like, oh, I did great in this thing that I did today. And then the next day you have a conversation with your friends and they're using like software that does this, and then you're just like, oh, maybe I'm not like moving forward. Like, it is so tricky. Everybody's story is different, obviously, and I feel like people don't share this side of like the growing pains of it, how you need to be patient, how the little steps are adding up, and sometimes you literally do feel like you're stagnant. Like, is this what I studied for? Like, I thought I was going to be solving the world's problems, creating like these beautiful buildings, but when you're at the bottom, you feel so insignificant. But this is how it starts. This is where it starts, and you put in all the hours from now, and bit by bit, you might not see this, but you're growing. You might not see this, but you are laying the foundation to a very successful and really good career. So don't feel like, I know you're gonna hate it, but as part of the process, you need to count the sand. You need to. And it might be like, oh my gosh, really? And yes, they'll be upset if you counted 2 grains less than, but the more you do it, the better you are at it. And the better you are at it, you are then able to manage. You are then able to like quickly, like, even just by looking at it, oh, I can see that's like however much sand is there. But I understand, like, I get you. I just want you to know that I get you. But this is not where you quit. Like, this is not where you give up. This is where you stick it through. This is where you like hold it in. This is where you learn how to deal with different types of personalities. This is where you also like introspect and realize that corporate is a game. There's rules, and you learn the rules, and you try not to take things personally. Yes, you're gonna fail. Yes, you're gonna cry in the bathroom. Yes, you're gonna feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. But this is not where you quit. I just want you to know that, especially if you're starting out, this is not where you quit. This is where you get as much as you can, and you learn as much as you can, and you build yourself up. You build that resilience. And I feel like it's easy for me to talk about it here, but I've been there. I've cried in the bathroom. I've been frustrated. I felt like I've been treated unfairly. I've been gaslit. Like, you feel like you're imagining things that are happening. I've been there, and you're gonna get through it. Just take as much as you can from whatever experience that you're given. Like, learn as much as you can, and just know that no experience is wasted. I mean, obviously this doesn't constitute to when like there's like proper harassment, when there's like if there's sexual harassment, reported. If there's like any sort of harassment that you need to report, and if the environment gets really like toxic and really abusive to the point where your safety and your being is being threatened, then I 115% recommend that you report and leave that type of environment. But if it's literally work related, always step back, assess, take your emotions out of it. What is this teaching me? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And it's coming from a point of like me looking back at my own journey. I've been through like questioning it, and like the crying, and dealing with different types of personalities, and navigating everyday life, and learning as well that this is a game. Corporate is a game, and you need to learn the rules. And sometimes the rules are uncomfortable for you, or the rules are not properly like aligned with how you would like to do things, but you need to do things that way because that's how the game is played. It's a game. play the game and take your emotions out of it. Put in the hours. It's going to suck. It's going to feel unfulfilling, but take in as much as you can. It's not a wasted experience. You might feel like you're stagnant, but stick it through. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say in this video. So yeah, remember, little steps, they make a difference. You might not see it. You're growing. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Also, save money. Save money. Live like a student. If you're starting out, you might be getting a bit more money than you ever had in your life. So I think your cost of living might be less, I hope. Try to save money where you can. And if you can't, try to now start even looking at other ways of making money. Because this industry is not about the money, money, money. Especially when you're starting out. You need to diversify your income. Learn to do that right now. And, sorry. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. See you later in another video. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.